Peace and greetings, family. Thank you for allowing me to come back. So last week we addressed Sister Paula West's question about how to relate and emote to her man or to men, period. And it started me to thinking about self-development. You know, I talked about how myself, in order to have better relationships, then I had to take the time to develop myself as it relates to men. We talked about Helen Adeline's book, Fascinating Womanhood. Again, like I said, you may throw that book down. That book may upset you. But that book, I promise you, if you follow those steps in that book, then you'll see a different reaction in the way you relate and emote with your man. Now, not only am I a criminal defense lawyer, but I'm also an instructor of metaphysics. I got my bachelor's degree in metaphysics, and people may think it's hokey science. But I promise you, if you apply these universal principles, and as a lawyer, you know, I believe in the law and I believe in universal law. So if you apply these universal principles in your life, then you'll be able to see more productivity in your life. So why am I saying that? Well, dealing with our men, dealing with our children, dealing with our families, we may have issues dealing with our own mental state where we get stuck, where we don't want to do anything, where there's a situation or event that happens and that we stop producing. We get mad, we sit down, we boycott. What do we do? What do we teach our children when they're going through something in their mind? And how do they move past whatever that feeling that they're in? Because they're in their feelings. And many times as women, we're in our own feelings. We could say it's that time of the month. But I got a technique to give to you that I've learned and that it really works. Now, 3 things. 1, you have to change your physiology. The second one, you got to change your focus. And the third thing is you want to change the language in your head or the language that you use. So when we're feeling some kind of way, we have to change our physiology. Most of the times we're depressed. I can probably ask you the question, what does a depressed person look like? And you'll tell me automatically, all the viewers, you'll tell me, well, the head goes down, their body gets slumped, you know, they isolate themselves. They do something particular physiologically with their body. So what does a person who's happy and successful, what do they look like? Well, what they do is their body is raised, their shoulders is back, their head is up, right? Or another thing that you can do to change your physiology is to get moving. You know, when you're exercising, when you're working out, when you're being productive with your body, doing something with your body, then what happens is your brain is producing certain chemicals, endorphins, that make you feel a certain way. Now, it takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds from the sun to come down to the earth and back. It takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for your blood to circulate completely in your body. And it also takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for a good word in your ear to lift yourself up. So what you can do is you can listen to something positive. You can dance. You can get the blood moving and running, okay? So the second thing is you want to do is change your focus. If I tell you, don't think of a pink elephant, don't think of a pink elephant, what are you going to do? You're going to think of a pink elephant. And a lot of times when we are in our feelings and we're thinking a certain way, then what we're doing is we're in our heads focusing over and over on that event. But I promise you, if you can get yourself to focus on something different long enough, and remember, 8 minutes and 20 seconds is a long time. But if we can focus on something that is positive, maybe while we're moving our body, then what happens is our countenance lifts up. And then the last thing that we can possibly do is to change our language. And a lot of times in our head when we mess up, oh man, I hate myself. Why did I do that stupid thing? Why did she do that? You know, your brain is going to automatically answer that question. But if you start changing the language, say, how can I do better? What can I do to be more productive? How can I reach out to this man? How can I show him that I am worthy? And you'll start answering those questions for yourself because your brain has no choice but to answer those questions. So how do you change your mental state? 1, you change your physiology. You get your body moving. 2, you change your focus of what you're thinking about. And then finally, what are you talking to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? What is the language that you're using? Turn it from the negative to the positive. So these are just 3 tips that you could possibly use to change your mental state. You share it with your family, share it with your children. So if you're interested, as a woman, if you're interested more about learning these tools and tips and techniques, there's an organization that I'm a part of called Queendom Come. The website is myqueendomcome.org. We just recently had Sister Summit which we helped girls and women to be able to connect with their inner purpose on purpose. So we gave them the tools from how to eat to live, from thinking financially of abundance. We taught them how to change their mental state, something that I just talked to you about right now. And so you can follow us again on myqueendomcome.org. We're on Twitter, Queendom Come, and we're also on Facebook and Instagram, Queendom Come Inc.